tonight. And our first item on the agenda at 4:02.
You might want to reverse the item.
Okay, perfect. So the first item on the agenda will be award milling and paving contract bid.
Mr. Rice has that.
After looking over all the three bids we received from Century, Nalcon, and High Country Paving, I had them bid at a unit price bid, including mobilization as one unit, square yard of milling as the second unit, and ton of overlay as the third unit. It looks like everything compares well, and I would request that we award the low bidder, which was High Country Paving, which was $15,000 for mobilization, $275 a square yard for milling, and $84 a ton for hot mix overlay. Century Paving was mobilization was $30,000, the milling was $5 a square yard, and the paving was $90 a ton. And Nalcon was, their mobilization was $50,000, their milling was $350 a square yard, and their overlay was $100 a ton. And so I think I would request that we award High Country. So as the low bidder, then do our work for us.
Jack, how does this compare to the past, like last year and the year before?
I was expecting the middle bid, the Century one, because it's pretty comparable to what we've done in the past. Yeah.
Speaking as someone who knows nothing, why is there such a difference?
You know, Nalcon is mobilizing out of Kalispell, so that's probably where they're 50,000. And then I'm assuming, I don't know where they're getting their hot mix, but they don't have a plant out here in eastern Montana, so they would have had to hire a hot mix plant to make the asphalt for them. So I imagine they had to mark that up considerably.
Where is High Country from?
High Country's from Belgrade.
Oh.
And I believe their mobilization was the lowest because a lot of their equipment is out here. They did the American Ford parking lot, and they subcontracted to Matriarch for the city BNSF parking lot. So I think some of their mobilization is already on site, or at least in the area.
Yeah, they bought a house here and moved a plant in here, and one of them lives here part-time. So they kind of moved into eastern Montana and had Glendive as their home. So.
Okay.
I have noticed, however, that in western North Dakota, between here and Dickinson, a lot of construction signs are in Elko and Kalispell.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so they must be overlooking.
Yeah, they're
I don't see them. I see Northern Improvement and Knife River, but the signs all read Elko and Kalispell.
That must be why they were interested in us, because I've never ever received a bid from them before.
Yeah, Jack, so how many blocks are we doing here with this?
Oh, we've set aside 22 roughly, but with this low unit price through High Country, we may be able to add a few more blocks, you know, because they did shoot us such a low price. So we're looking at possibly extending their contract to include a few more blocks than the original ones that we had looked at.
And I'm not sure how to ask this, but we're confident in their ability to deliver as promised.
Yes, you know, there was the question of the oil content in the parking lot, but they did overlays for us in 2013. They were very satisfactory, and the council chooses we could hire that engineering firm to do some tests of the overlays too, for, you know, checking the oil content. I haven't looked into the cost of that, but if it is that you want to do a couple of test holes while they're paving, you can certainly do that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Item 2 on our agenda is the Merrill Avenue traffic study, Montana Department of Transportation.
Yes, Chairman Reichert, I handed the council members, committee members, a copy of it, and is there anybody else in the audience who would like a copy of it?
Okay, just right down. That I can
And in addition to a copy of the study I just handed out, Chairman Reichert, District Administrator Shane Mintz said that if any members of the street committee have any questions after you have a chance to look it over, etc., he would be available to answer those questions for you on a one-on-one basis. And after the council approves this, he's thinking anywhere from maybe 5 to 7 years before it happens. So the quicker we get it approved, the quicker it gets in the chain of the Department of Transportation food chain.
Do you have comments as you've been through it?
I do, Chairman. I think that the study is very thorough. They have taken into consideration traffic flows, safety, pedestrians, and other people in town, and I think their recommendation of moving from 4-lane to 3-lane with a permanent turning lane would be very beneficial to the downtown area, and in particular those areas where there's not enough width right now for parking on the street, and people open their car door, they could get it ripped off legally because they're out in the driveway. So in looking it over, and the department heads, or some of the department heads and I have met with the Department of Transportation when they were doing the preliminary plan on this and giving them input, and I would defer Mr. Rice and Mr. Dorward if they saw anything that they didn't agree with.
Mr. Rice?
No, I agree.
Okay.
And the meetings we went to, we actually have been allowed to some input into this decision too on some of these intersections, and a couple of the alternatives are ones that we had brought up, so I concur with the mayor.
Well, with that, I suggested that we, the street committee, take this back, and then at our next street committee meeting, approve it and then take it to the council. We'll have a chance to go through it and talk to Mr. Mintz and get a question. And if we have some big issue with it, then we could request that we come and help explain it at our next street committee meeting. Since we're 5 to 7 years out.
Right. We delay too long, we're going to be 8 to 10 years back. A couple years is better.
Or 3 weeks or 4 weeks.
Well, I'm hoping to get it for the highway department is that they were able to complete it in my lifetime.
That's why you're down there and
And
Is there, oh, go ahead.
no, after.
Was there any information with respect to the town street study that was currently going on?
Yeah, that study has been approved by the council,
Okay.
and we're moving forward with it, but it has been delayed a year
That's what it
because they want to tie it in with our Mead Avenue upgrade
I see.
after we do the sewer and water, and we can't do the sewer and water until the county gets into the Mead Avenue, and then we can do the rest of Mead. And so when that is all happening, they think they will get a better bid if they do town and Mead at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah,
I
town
knew there was an
street's
issue.
been approved.
Yeah, I knew there was an issue with that, so, okay. Well, thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, just maybe two. Mr. Mayor, do you know, so what's the time frame on Town Street? I know Town Street's not sewer pipe, Town Street.
No, I just explained, they want to wait on town until we can do Mead at the same time, okay? So Mr. Rice would probably be best to ask that question.
We certainly are looking at 5 to 7 years.
No, I think, what, 2 to 3
2
years?
to 3 on town, and that'll make Town Street a 3-lane with a center turn lane, left turn center lane, and then parking on both sides for the state's portion of it, and then we're doing water and sewer replacement on Mead as well, and then they wanted, as the mayor said, tie in the Mead paving portion with the town paving, get a better price for all of that once. I think that's 2 to 3 years out.
One of the key things holding that up is easement on the county side of it.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for us to dig up Mead
I mean, but we can't do anything until that.
until they,
When that happens, then we kind of start the clocks.
But only on half. Yeah, that's just this first portion, the 3 blocks that entail their portion. We've also got 5 more blocks that we'll have to do some water sewer work on.
Right, but none of it will happen until that happens.
Probably not.
Yeah, I was 5 to 7 years, I'm just kind of shocked, but okay, thanks.
No, Town Street will be before that.
Well, I don't know, but even the other one, 5 to 7 years. Mr. Mayor, you gonna say something?
I know it. Start eating better, yeah.
I don't know.
And Chairman Reichert, not to put words in their mouth, but I think he had guests in the audience that may want to speak to the Merrill Avenue street study.
Okay, well, with that, then I'd ask that from the public, any of your comments, if you want to come up to the front and with respect to any issue with regard to streets, but if you'd like to do that now.
Honorable Mayor and Street Committee, this is Peggy Ida. And on the line of safety, I have to say I was parked on Merrill Avenue by the attic and opened my door to go across the street. And one of these big pickups with now their rear view mirrors are so big, it my car door, or he hit my car door, but I got the ticket out of the deal. But anyway, for safety, I think going to 3 lanes rather than 4, as pickups seem to only get bigger, might be a big safety issue for that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
Come forward.
I just have a question about the snow removal.
Could you just state your name?
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Carol Ether. My husband and I own the Guns and Things.
And on the snow removal now, they put it all in the middle street, so is that not the turning lane, or, but Jennifer was saying something to me about the state has different snow removals now.
Yeah, that's all taken care of by the state.
Okay.
Merrill and town
Right.
streets. And so Jack could,
Well, it was brought up to that, one of the meetings on the 3-lane, but I don't recall what their solution was. I believe it was still going to the center, but removing it right away instead of leaving.
Okay. That was just one of my concerns, because it piles up all down the whole thing. and-
Sure.
sure.
I think they were just going to plan on removing it immediately when they did
Okay.
it instead of leaving it is what they were saying.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jen Flanagan with Building at Glendive and Health Department. I spoke to Shane Mintz about this particular project. Building at Glendive is quite excited about it. It solves several issues for us. As you remember, we tried to do TA grants to build paths from Triple T up to over the interstate bridge. And because of this potential corridor change, we didn't do that because going to a 3-lane from a 4 would solve a lot of our encroachment issues. There's a trailer encroaching, there's also some utility issues with trying to build a path there. So this would simultaneously solve those encroachment issues. It would make it safer for them to walk, particularly the walkers that are going from Triple T up to Grandview area. If you watch them now, they're going on the other side of the guardrail, and if you look back, the path's about this wide, and then there's a large drop for them to walk across. When I spoke to Shane Mintz, he mentioned that he might need some TA funding to build some of the paths in areas we don't currently have one. So when they start doing this corridor change, we can support that effort by putting in that TA grant through the city. And Building at Glendive has been helping with the TA grants in the past. We're more than happy to assist with that process as well. So.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Christine Whitlatch, I'm the new director at the Chamber of Commerce. I'm just a question, actually more than a comment, before they move forward in finalizing what will be parking and opportunities for businesses, maybe to extend a little out in front of their businesses with extended space with parklets or any of those kind of things, especially on the west side of Merrill where the main businesses are, to make that more user-friendly for the business and the consumers as they go downtown. Will there be opportunities for the downtown corridor businesses to be invited to talk with the city and with the Department of Transportation on what that might look like? I guess that's a question and a request all at the same time.
I don't know the answer to that, but,
I would say that if any businesses downtown want to have any input to the design and final project, if they contacted me or Chairman Reichert, we could forward those requests to the Highway Department.
Okay, great. Thanks.
thank you.
Well, the other thing is, Chairman Riker was talking earlier about possibly even the mayor, Shane Mintz coming to the committee meeting after we study this. They're welcome to come and offer input, although if they had some specific concerns, they might want to coalesce them, bring them as a common identity and then bring that to that meeting, or talk to the highway department yourself. But
Well, as we go forward, after the committee has a chance to look at it, and that would, I think, determine, or if we get a lot of other input, determine whether we invite Mr. Ness to our next committee meeting, to help with those issues we have a problem with. If it's a real concern to you, then we should make sure that gets relayed to him before we go to the council and approve it.
Can I speak one more time?
Go ahead.
This time I am on my Greater Glendive Community Foundation hat. 2 things that might gather input from the community are, one, the Greater Glendive Community Foundation has hired the MSU School of Architecture fall community design class, and they will be looking at downtown revitalization, and of course, streets are part of that. And there will be at one of the football games, before the game starts for 2 hours, they will be taking community input on what they'd like to see. So that's one. And two, we, in cooperation with the city, have submitted 2 grants for a downtown master plan, but we haven't heard if we've gotten those. One with CBG and the other one with the Montana Main Street program. So those 2, you don't do those just by yourself. You get the whole community involved. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities, I think, for the community's input.
Thank you, Tracy. Any other public comment? Do you have any other comments?
So I had for the street committee.
All right. With that, I will adjourn the street committee at 4:23.
Okay, I will call to order the Finance, Utilities, Property, Recreation Committee meeting at 4:23. One item on the agenda, presentation changes to that.
Yes, Councilman Kuhn has a request for addition to the agenda.
Well, let's deal with what's on the written agenda here, if that's okay. Someone's here for that. We have the Badlands Board Fest at Iyer Park.
First correction, Mr. Rice would like to note that he inadvertently wrote down Iyer Park. That should be J.C. West Park instead of Iyer Park.
I was dealing with a leak out at Iyer Park, but I had Iyer Park on the brain. I apologize.
Now you have the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
I guess I'm not sure about protocol. First time I've been here. Anyway, I'm David Whale, and with Community Bible Church, and we're doing the Badlands Board Fest. Also, Brent Mullage has been working with me. I think he's been the one that's been talking with Mr. Rice the most. Anyway, our plan was August 26th to have a kind of a festival type thing. We've got some pro skate team coming in, and then we'll have a contest with just open skateboard contest for folks to enter, and have a little bit of food on site. We've got I brought the insurance that we've got for that, and then also Brent did the application with the department or the county health department for the food, and kind of done just a quick layout of where we want to put things on the park there and whatnot. So that's kind of our plan. The next Saturday we'll have a demo up at the fairgrounds, and then come back at 6 o'clock and just have kind of a hangout and skate with the pros. And the pros will be with us, and we'll just invite the kids to kind of hang out and skate around the park and get tips and whatnot. And just kind of do kind of a community event type of thing. So that's kind of what the plan is.
So, Mr. Waddell?
Whale, yeah.
Whale, sorry. You said 26th? It's on a Friday?
August 26th is that evening is the first part, and then Saturday is the demo on the skate with the pros.
What are your, have lights or are there lights in there?
We don't. We were talking about getting a couple of light plants. Brent's familiar with a couple of contractors, so we're going to have that. We're going to have a couple of generators for the part of that too. Is Kirk Bay's he's got a little DJ company kind of group, and he's going to put on a music show towards the end of the skate competition for us. So.
Mr. Rice, what kind of procedures are there to the public park?
He mentioned the insurance. Anytime there's an event like that, we usually require some liability insurance, $1 million minimum, naming the city as a lien or a policy holder. Other than that, I would probably stress no vehicles on the grass, driving cars or pickups because of the sprinklers, but other than that, I don't see any.
I guess a question to that point, get equipment into place, can we bring a vehicle on? Is that, or what do you guys?
Yeah, I guess I'd want to see your layout. Maybe we could just flag the sprinklers a day ahead of time or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a form to fill out?
No.
But they somehow have to bring me a physical copy of the insurance policy, or is it, do they sign a waiver? Or
Usually, when something like this, the insurance company faxes me a copy or emails me one.
Chairman Dryden, I think what Dave was actually asking for is a waiver because the council prohibits people from using city parks to sell things, and make money. And I think he said there'd be vendors there.
Yeah.
Food vendors, etc. And so what he would be asking for is a waiver of, park rules so that they could have vendors and
The main vendor will be the merchandise with the skate team. That'll be the main vendor. The food we're providing, we're paying the snow cone folks, Reynolds, to come down there, so that'll be free to the public. So those are kind of the main things that we're doing.
That kind of answers my question. I was wondering if this is open to any food vendor that would want to show up, or is this kind of just...
We've kind of been contacting food vendors to come in, but like I said, we're giving the food that the one main thing that we're finding as far as food, the churches are getting together and providing food.
Also, the food will be for free.
Free, so it'll be a little bit tough to sell.
Well, that kind of goes to our decisions in the past have been, if somebody wants to come into a park and exclusively control the business and sell stuff just for themselves, or if it's open to anybody and everybody that comes in, or if you're giving stuff away for free, then you're not controlling the park and just trying to make a profit yourself and want to close that off for any other businesses that want to come in. So I don't see a problem with it.
The merchandise being sold, is that for the pros coming in, or is it a fundraiser?
Yeah, it'll be skateboards, and then Kirk Bates has music and t-shirts.
Those are going to...
Those are the pros that are coming in, and then Kirk Bates.
Anybody else have any questions or anything?
Is this mine or?
Then you can have that one.
Okay, thank you.
I just had a question because I don't know. When you have gatherings like this, do you usually have some police presence, or I'm just thinking of, it's a good group, but I mean, crowd control, or, anybody that the police make a run through there just to check out things.
Slightly more. I don't know what you've required in the past. We
I just wanted to ask.
We did talk, go ahead.
Well, in the past, if there's an outdoor event with alcohol and stuff, that's kind of one thing. And even like a couple weekends ago when cross patrolling sponsored them, that they made the effort of trying to get. They asked if the fire departments would kind of be bouncers at the gates to make sure people aren't bringing alcohol in and out and things like that, or leaving drunk and getting in vehicles and stuff. But typically, I guess as a councilman, sometimes councilmen have asked the police department at the council meeting if they could just have the officers run through there once or twice, and I think that would suffice.
Yeah. Okay.
To answer the question, we did talk to the police department, and they said they were actually going to public outreach, have the little officers down there. They thought they would do that. So at least that's in the preliminary phases of our conversation. That's what's getting there.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Then what we'll do, without objection, you guys will take this to the council for their permission to allow vendors to, in the manner described, to sell merchandise. Well, I was not sure if it was given away or being sold. They do have the skateboard guys for definitely selling there.
And music guy, selling the CDs and stickers.
Okay, and that's the 26th, and then on the 27th, will there be vendors to the same guys?
In my conversations with Brent, we have not been, we don't think so, but if it's something that needs approval, maybe we should go ahead and ask for it and have that checked off so that.
26th and 27th.
Yeah. We have our bases covered.
Is there any requirements about when you get done with the stuff that it's kind of clean, put in the trash receptacles, or is that just the way things?
Yeah, well, you would hope that they would police themselves afterwards, and, you know, we can always provide extra can or two for the event. We do that for a lot of those types of things too, when it's requested, so.
Then, David, you said you would talk to Mr. Rice there about any equipment or any vehicles that need to be.
As you said, Mr. Mullet has come up and talked to me, but everything's preliminary right now, so I'm sure we'll touch base again when they get some final plan.
Brent Mullet, right? That's who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Brent Mullet. Okay. All right, well then, we'll take that to the council for their approval next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And good luck with it. Oh, we do have public comment here.
Mr. Kuhn wanted to add an item to the agenda.
Ms. Anderson, you know, you were asking about police presence. I think there was police presence when the library had their fundraiser at the park. 'Cause librarians and those people, and they're a rough crowd.
I tell you. Yeah, it's a good thing to get. We get a little hard to handle.
Mr. Kuhn?
I apologize for the late notice. It got thrown in my lap and I forgot to bring it up. But speaking of events, the annual Fireman's Bash will be on August 20th. And we've done this in the summertime now for, I think this is going to be the 4th year. And we're going to have Jim Klein band in that parking lot next to the VFW. So we're requesting an open container for that night and a noise variance.
What do you have for hours, do you think?
Probably like 8 o'clock till probably 1. And we've, as in the past, we fence off the alley and on the sidewalk there off of Merrill Avenue. So nobody can enter the outdoor band dance area. They have to go through the bar, and there's people at the doors to check IDs and
with that. Do you guys use alcohol from the establishment there, or do you bring your own?
No, the alcohol is their deal, we don't have any part of that. We just, the VFW and the association split the cost of the van, and our fundraising efforts are funded by sale of tickets.
And that's August 20th, right? You guys have any questions?
What's the noise variance? I understand what it is, but how does it work? Do you measure decibel levels, or?
No, basically just, that would be the variance, that we can be noisy past 10 o'clock.
Oh,
That's what it's-
City, Amos, if I may interrupt, city ordinance has a code that outlines the noise levels that can be present after 10 p.m. at night. So if there's anything above that noise range after 10 p.m., they have to get a variance to allow it. And that's just in case there are neighbors close enough that they complain.
So it's the noise and standard variance. You guys have any, want to comment on that? Then without objection, and I'll put that on the agenda as a committee item for approval for the council with our support. So when you object to those or you have a different view, just say so. That's kind of the way. Any other, we need to, on a committee meeting, to add it to the agenda. Do we have to do anything formal? No objection to adding it, so, okay, all right. Public comment then? Anyone from the public have any comment to finance, utility, property, recreation?
I don't know if this pertains to
Go ahead
this.
with your name, what you said.
My name is Tara Dahl, and I don't know if it's the streets and stuff like that, but I was here with the ordinance committee. Clyde was here, Mr. Jemison was here at the meeting I was last at. I have a real beef with the street, parking lot, whatever. That guy with the pickup box trailer, and he's got his tongue divoting down into that concrete. We have spent big bucks on there, and I'm a woman, but I'm smart enough to know that you should put a block under that before you put it on a new set of concrete. I'm very avid about it. I'm very avid that Glendive grows and looks nice, and I'm asking you guys as a committee, that's also part of the whole council, to get his behind in trouble. I can't see why he should be allowed to be parking there, having that tongue sticking in the in the new tar, only to project a new hole to make a whole new problem. You guys are part of the street committee. You guys work with the tar. You work with all these other businesses, and I'm asking, begging actually, that somebody tends to that vehicle and that gentleman that owns the business from doing what he is doing. And I know that you guys are in the process of ordinances and working with that, but as far as the street person, I still think that you guys being involved, and I'm not pointing fingers, but I do believe we need to get that under control. You know, we're trying to widen the sidewalks, we're trying to make the sidewalks pretty, we're trying to make the streets pretty, but nothing to have a pothole. It all goes together, and I'm asking that a simple ticket, a simple public notice, Mr. John Doe that owns this vehicle, describe it, put it in the paper, let people know. He's ruining what we have, that we spent big bucks on. It just irritates me to no end that we have one, and like I said at the last meeting, so we got this guy sitting there with a pickup or a trailer parking there. So now I have a jet ski that I have to do something this fall with. Guess where I'm parking it? The city parking lot. So then this next person has a camper. Guess where he's gonna park it because he don't want the $100 a month. Guess what we're gonna have? A trash pot. I don't think a simple response to that guy would hurt at all to save our nice parking lot there. It's a simple question, but I'm very avid about it. And I know I'm a pest, but I firmly believe if we're gonna grow and we're gonna beautify Glendive, we need everybody to work together to accomplish it. And a pinhole can turn into a Badger Hill. And that's, I think, where you guys are tying it into, and that is my request. It's kind of an off the subject of this, but it's also with the streets, and it's all tying in together. I mean, we can't just fix this and have a dot-to-dot puzzle. And I guess doing it all together in the long run is going to save money.
And I would agree 100% with you, Ms. Dahl, and our chairman of the ordinance committee, Mr. Leon Baker, is compiling all of that information that you just suggested so we can legally get it adopted into city code, and our police department will be able to enforce all parking rules in that parking lot, even though it's a private lot.
Is there a way that I can request, as you guys as the rulers or the overseers of the county, to get a block and put under that tongue in the interim until that is done?
Well, and that's a good point. Until the new ordinance or policy is put in place, if it is provable damage, can you not have the police or somebody? I mean, if it's visible, provable damage, that his trailer's there and there's, you know, Jack's been pressing down on the asphalt. I mean, that's damage to the property. Can we do anything with that, or is that a question for the city attorney? Or
yeah, I would say that's probably a legal question as to whether or not we can enforce parking ordinances in there right now.
Well, and not necessarily enforcing it, but in the interim right now, we've got hot days and stuff, that you as council members, I know you guys got wood at your house, tree stumps or something that you can put under that tongue. So whether it be a 4x4 cedar block, to prevent any more damage until they say, screw it, let's let it go to heck. Or yes, we're going to have some ordinances and we're going to find somebody. As members of our communities, members of our community, that you guys are our leaders, you guys are to make the decision. I'm asking you guys to put a block of wood under there to save it until you hear back from
Would you like the mayor to do that?
I would ask if you would be willing to do that. Yes, I would,
Yes,
Jerry.
so I'll take a block of wood down there and take care of it for you, Karen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to be a bitch about it, but
No, I understand.
I mean, I want to save with what we have. We've
Yeah,
had
I'll
some
get a block of
issues.
wood over there right away.
And if you would do that, Mr. Mayor, I would be most grateful.
Thank you.
I just,
Okay.
That's a good point. Good point.
thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I would just ask the owner, they don't have to, but people could be asked to do stuff. You can ask your neighbors to do things in your neighborhood, an issue for the neighbors. People do what they do. Till the law steps in, could the owner of that be asked to remove it from the parking lot?
Based on,
The fact that we don't want it, people don't want it there. I mean, if he's not asked, I don't know, who knows, and could be, is that something that's possible?
or at least notifying that he's damaging the parking lot. I think that's something that we will have to.
Yeah, it's not, I'm not forcing, it's just a question.
And I understand that there's not, that it's in interim between the committee meeting that they had and now, but we've got some hot days are coming, and we know what happens to tar. We would do it at our home if we, you know, to save our property there. And as all of us in this room, we all should be taking pride in that too, in my opinion. Therefore, I am asking for a piece of wood, block of lumber or whatever to go under there to prevent any issues.
yeah,
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
It's under a list of memorandum.
Range review. Photographer, is that you, Jason? Maybe you can follow them down there. Just let us know. We'll come and take care of that. Any other public comment? Gerald, do you want me to put that on my report, or would you like that? Go ahead. Okay. No other public comment? Okay. Then I will call the meeting adjourned at